The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, and J.M.
Look at you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Get turkey.
Yeah.
Boy, the people that just listen to this podcast don't get the full effect of what it is you're wearing right now.
I don't know what effect you need for it. People are watching this. We're going to upload this early on Thanksgiving because people are making their turkeys. A little special thing.
Are you going to fry your turkey again with that deep fryer thing?
Yes, I am.
If I see smoke coming from
well, we're
your block,
we are constrained by space over here. It's one thing to be empty nesters. It's another thing when you're hosting for the amount of people that used to be in another house. But we'll
all right. I'm sure you'll, and then Fry Fest. You got that coming up.
Well, it's we'll see how it all. It's going to be pretty cold on Friday.
That makes Fry Fest even more fun. It was cold last year on Black Friday. I remember freezing out there.
Well, there's only so much 400-degree oil can do for you.
But Market Square is going to heat up on Friday.
Yeah, so let's see, let's go into the future. This is Thursday. People are drying out their turkeys right now, undercooking their stuffing, and they want to listen to
watching bad football with the Lions. Well, the Lions are good. The Lions are good football, but the Bears.
You better check your script. So people are like, all right, crunching, getting everybody together. I'm sure politics will come up at the dinner table. It's got to. After a couple of drinks.
Comes up everywhere people go, it seems like now.
So everybody's gonna eat their turkey. Of course, we're wishing everybody happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving.
We're very thankful for our supporters, our viewers, our listeners, and even the people that don't like us but still watch us. Even the people that unsubscribe from us. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
They're watching a link from from somebody forwarded to them.
But
So
yeah, there's a lot going on at Market Square on Friday, November 29th, Black Friday.
why don't you give everybody a little heads up on what's
So
going
this is the 40th annual, Pete, 40th annual
4-0.
tree, tree lighting holiday celebration. So this started back in 1984. And there's a lot of stuff all day. You can go on the Lake Forest Parks and Rec website to get all the activities because they actually start stuff at 1 o'clock with a holiday movie at Gorton Center.
Is that what the
Um,
holiday movie is?
uh, no, it doesn't say here. I'm going to go with Home Alone.
Go on Gordon Center. Let's tell everybody. People want to know.
I'm just going to guess it's Home Alone. What better movie to show on Black
People get
Friday?
their news from podcasts now. If you can't tell them,
Yeah,
don't make me go there.
but it just says holiday movie here. But they're going to have, and then at 3 o'clock, a kids' activities area with cookies, courtesy of Lake Forest Bank and Trust. Arts and craft activity for kids, courtesy of Sage Explorers. Donuts and coffee provided by the Ortal Group, and more to be announced.
Here we go. GortonCenter.org/events.
Yeah,
1 to 3 p.m. Home Alone.
I got it. I guessed it. I
It's,
didn't cheat and look, honestly. I just guessed what
oh,
movie you're
check
going to
this out.
show.
12 to
Home
1 p.m.
Alone.
Private guitar and bass lessons with Dave
Ooh.
Hildebrand. Dave, can you teach
Well,
me music theory in 1 hour? Thank you.
3:15 to 6 p.m. visit with Santa. And contrary to popular rumors going around town, you are not playing Santa.
I'm bad Santa.
3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Lake Forest Civic Orchestra and Lake Forest High School Festival Dress Ensemble. 4:40 p.m. caroling concert by the Lake Forest High School choristers. In other words, the choir.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 o'clock p.m., the Lake Forest Dance Academy performance begins, and just after the lights will be set aglow.
Here's
That's the big time, 5 o'clock. But people get there early. They pregame at Lantern or Duffers or
Gerhardt's hot
Chiefs.
chocolate.
Gerhardt's Hot Chocolate. She stays open for this. You could go to the lame Starbucks if
Wait,
you want.
I'm deleting that.
What? Did I call them lame?
Starbucks.
Oh,
It's synonymous with lame.
all right. Well, it's also a Dunkin' down the street. I don't know if they'll be open, but um,
Well, what people should know is, and I missed it last year because I was working. They start right on time, especially with Randy.
yeah, Mertac runs the trains run on time with
Oh, he leaves his
Mertac.
car
That's for
running.
sure.
His car has got the door open and running.
Paul is sitting in the driver's seat. Let's go.
It's
But it's a great event. I mean, and it's packed. I mean, I'm just telling you, get there
a
early.
Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it's
Get
exactly that,
diabetes
a
walking
Hallmark.
through there.
And last year, I assume they will again. There was a little stand selling chestnuts roasting on an open fire. So get there early to buy your chestnuts. And at Left Bank, will probably have a little something going too. A lot of the businesses will be open, so you can get your Black Friday deals there instead of having to go out to Vernon Hills or Woodfield or any of those.
Careful of Vernon Hills, man. You get shot at that Hawthorne Center.
Well, that was apparently two guys that knew each other that just had a grudge. That could happen anywhere, but
It's called a shooting.
Vernon Hills is changing,
What?
and unfortunately not for the better.
Says who?
What I says people that work there. So
What's
and says their election returns too. So
all right. How many tree lightings have you been to, Joe?
this will be the second one. I went the first year I was here, honestly. Actually, we were out of town Thanksgiving weekend. First year we were in Lake Forest. We were out of town, so we couldn't go, but we went last year, had a terrific time, and we'll be there again this year. And my son will be in. He's not flying home that day like last year. He will. He's going to be there to take it all in, and he's already back now from college for Thanksgiving break. So he's excited. We're excited, but dress warm, dress comfortably because you're going to be standing around
It'll be
pretty
cold
chilly
for you.
weather. Yeah, it's going to be cold, so dress appropriately.
20s, 20s.
Don't be like the Armenian alderman that wears like short sleeves out there or something. So
Or me wearing shorts out there.
you're wearing shorts, the
I
two
might
of
even
you. I
wear
don't.
jeans. I think 10 degrees is when I put the jeans on.
I'll have my Lake Forest Scout ski cap on. Uh,
So, so for the insider, to give some people some inside information that haven't been there before, you got any advice for them?
like I said, get there early. Maybe
Yeah, but
get a
where to
little dip.
stand?
Where to stand? By the front end of Market Square, kind of. That's where where the shoe store was, as I recall. That's where they
The
had
Ootery,
the bootery. That's
where,
no more bootering.
where customer service is number one.
That got booted, um, and they um, so they set up right about there. In the middle. They close off Western Avenue, so they have the podium and all that set up, and you can see the tree itself is in Market Square. So miraculously, the mayor flicks a switch and it goes over to that tree and lights it up. They've already set the tree up. It's a beautiful tree.
Well, you don't want to stand in front of the tree. You want to be farther back because not just the tree
Yeah.
lights up, everything lights up.
Yeah, everything lights up. It's really
So
cool.
you want to take it all in, hallmark moment. Uh, keep the kids around you because it's packed
Yeah.
crazy.
Get to Gerhard's early because she does get a line. People want to go to Gerhard's. So but get there early, get your hot cocoa. Um, and
Are
then
they doing food over there this year? I don't know.
uh that I don't know.
I think they've had it. I think they've had it in the
She might
past.
have like cupcakes or things
Yeah.
like that.
Be
Brownies. I don't know.
careful walking across the train tracks
Yeah,
because the
please.
trains still run there. Be
Yes.
careful.
Don't want any train incidents. But then Lantern. We were in Lantern last year beforehand. It was packed, and we were in Duffers afterwards, and it was packed. So, a good time has had by all. And I'm sure Chiefs gets a lot of folks too. Maybe Deer Path Inn as well. So, um, and all the other restaurants there. It's a great experience. It really is. And I, it's fun. I don't know what else to say on it. And it's a great time. Everybody sees the mayor out there. Some of the aldermen join as well. You usually see Jason. Uh, Lake Forest Police and the Lake Forest Public Works guys do a great job, handling the stuff out there. And this is done by the I think the foundation does this, right? That Rick
They
Amos is
do, and
part of.
they're accepting donations.
Yeah. So,
No,
if you
nothing's for free.
feel so inclined, that's true. Yeah, it's presented by the Friends of the Lake Forest Parks and Rec Foundation and sponsored by Lake Forest Bank and Trust.
About the Lake Forest Bank and Trust. We got to get those guys
Yeah,
on the show.
they're a bank and a trust.
Rick, we'd have you on the show, but didn't hear from you.
But the caroling is very nice. The kids do a nice job with the caroling. So I think it is, like you said, it's a Hallmark movie. It
Yeah,
really is.
beautiful.
And I think like half the city shows up for it because it's really
I mean, the
it's
half that
really
isn't in Naples.
yeah, right. I think they put extra cops in the neighborhoods just to patrol the houses so nobody breaks in during this. But it's a great time. And then I don't know the exact date offhand, but we went to it last year in December. There'll be the menorah lighting in
Oh yeah,
with our friend Rabbi Moshe from
Moshi,
Chabad of Lake Forest.
Chabad.
And Mayor
Would he
Tack
be considered
usually,
a rogue Jew?
not at all. He's an Orthodox Jew.
No,
He's
the
not rogue at
Chabad, isn't that
all.
right? We got to have
Chabad,
him on again. That's a
Chabad,
question.
Chabad, they're not rogue
Rogue is the
by
wrong
any.
word. Okay, that will be not the
Yeah,
next time I
they're
say.
Orthodox, and there's, just as there's different branches of Christianity, there's different branches of Judaism. I think we talked about that with
Are
him
they
on
the
the show.
Latter-day Saints of Jewish people?
No, they're like they view themselves, and I hate to put it in these terms, but they view themselves as the true Jews,
Oh, come
that
on.
the
How can
other
he do that?
ones are not. I don't know. I mean, look, everybody has a view of what Christianity should be. Like Catholics
No
have a
wonder
different
there's
view
wars.
than, well, but there's no real
You're
wars
not a real
between.
Jew.
I don't claim to be. My dad was, but he was not an Orthodox. But I think as time goes on, especially with what happened last year on October 7th, I think the different factions of Judaism have mostly come together and united. Now, some of the real left-wing reform ones, they're called reform. I don't think they're really reformed. They uh, they'll have they're the kind of ones that aren't too loyal. Let's just say that they
No
would
idea.
be they would be like Jews in name only.
But even if you're Jewish, Catholic, or whatever, you
They're the
still,
ones that say Hamas is okay. There's that group. Israel's wrong. Like,
what's up
really?
with
And you're Jewish?
oh, look at us diverting from Thanksgiving. What happened
Yeah,
to Netanyahu and the ICC? Is that any of that stuff real?
they're not gonna
Or is
trust
it
me.
just
If
for newspaper headlines?
it's just for headlines, they did the same thing um, with George W. Bush, with the Iraq War. Oh, he's a war criminal. We're going to arrest him. Blah blah blah. He's not a war criminal. Now, there's people that think he is. One of the people who said he's committing war crimes is uh,
Well, is Biden committing war? What is he doing with like 6 weeks? Or what is Soros doing? Why is Ukraine sending rockets into Russia with 6 weeks left on the term?
getting their last shots in, I guess. I don't know.
Literally, but
Look, I agree with President Trump on a lot of things. I don't agree with him on, now he says he's just going to stop that war, that he'll get on the phone with Putin and stop it. If he can do that,
I didn't
great.
ask you that. What's going on?
But I'm
Why
just
is Biden
saying,
escalating things now?
because they think that with Trump coming in, that he'll pull all the aid to Ukraine.
Well, he will. So starting a war will, I
Well,
mean,
they want to get their
escalating.
last shots in to protect Ukraine. And like I said, I don't agree with Trump on this. I think we need to
I
defend
didn't bring up Trump.
Ukraine.
You brought up Trump. I brought up Biden. Why
But
is
but
Biden?
the reason Biden's doing it is because Trump is about to become president.
But isn't there some like if you're on your way out, don't you just normally chill out,
Yeah,
right?
but lame duck presidents have done other things. I mean, look at all the things Trump did when he was a lame duck. He pardoned like 500 people on his
You
last day
can
in
pardon
office.
whatever you want. Pardon's been going on forever, Joe. Why are you sending rockets into another country on your way out? What president has ever done that on their way out of office? Nobody.
That I don't know. Like I
If
said,
you do, nobody.
I think it's a mistake for Republicans to oppose aid to Ukraine. That's my 2 cents.
Why?
Because Russia's a bad Vladimir Putin's a bad guy.
Africa's a bad. There's a lot of
Yeah, but
on
but if
Africa.
you didn't stop him in Ukraine, he'll keep marching to Poland. He'll march and take over. He wants to get the band back together with the Soviet Union,
Like
is what he
Vietnam
wants to
is going
do.
to fall.
Like I said, I'm old enough to remember the Reagan era where we thought that the Russians were bad.
Okay, but it's not. It's not 40 years ago when the first tree lining was. It's now.
Yeah, but it's the same thing though. History repeats itself. Russia's
Uh,
a the,
I
the
don't know if it
leader of
does, but it
Russia's a bad guy.
rhymes. It
What?
rhymes. You generally need some type of event where 3 or 4 thousand people die to ignite everybody to start another war.
Yeah,
Pearl
and who
Harbor,
and
about 3,000 people. 9/11 was about 3,000 people. So what's the next event now that we're going to have?
I I hope there isn't an event, but you would argue if you go back to if we had entered World War II earlier, Pearl Harbor might not have happened, and the Holocaust might not have happened.
Well, we had
So
isolationism.
yeah, and that's what we're doing now. And I don't, like
No,
I
we're
said, I'm
not.
total. Well, that's what Trump wants to do, and that's where I disagree with him on. I'm totally with him on tax cuts. Please cut my taxes. I'm all for it. I think
Well, you have to
it's
cut
good
your
for me.
taxes.
It's good for the country.
We're funding
Um,
stuff that's going over there. That's
Seal
how
the border, absolutely. Seal the border.
how about this? Can we get a surplus again and then we can do all these
Sure.
new things?
But like I said, the you can't put off dealing with dictators like Adolf Hitler or Vladimir Putin.
Is he the only dictator in the world?
He's the only dictator that's threatening the United States.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
The
I'm
cartels
pretty
threatening the
sure
United States?
he's going to march troops this way. Look, do you think if Hitler had conquered Europe, he would have left America
Are you
alone?
Democrat? You keep bringing up Hitler.
I'm just saying.
Well,
What?
I'm just saying too. Why are we stopping with Russia? Why don't we go into Africa and
Because they don't pose a threat to America's security.
says who?
Said anybody that knows what's going on.
Okay. Do you know what's
I'm
going
just saying. I like I said, I think it's a mistake to not back Ukraine.
Okay.
So I don't mind him doing what he's doing. I hope he takes out the Russians. I mean,
Oh,
Vladimir Putin would is an evil guy.
do you
He's a
want
bad
your
guy.
kid to go fight in this thing?
No, I don't. But
Then what are
I
you
also
doing?
because Pete, we did
There's a
isolationism.
lot of soldiers out there celebrating Thanksgiving that are like, oh man, I don't want to go into that shit.
But like I said, we didn't do it in the 30s, and we fought a much worse war in the 40s. So maybe a smaller military action now would prevent a much larger one later on. What I'm saying, because I definitely would have had if we had backed England and France and them earlier on in World War II before Pearl Harbor, there wouldn't have been a Pearl Harbor, and I think there would have been far less deaths, and there wouldn't have the Holocaust either wouldn't have happened or there would have been far less deaths in it.
Well, we all knew it was going to happen. The public didn't want to do anything about it.
Right. The public didn't want to do it. And I get
Okay.
that because nobody want because the public doesn't often at times the public doesn't think things out.
I'm
But
thankful.
as soon as we got attacked, it did a 180.
I don't know, Joe. I think it's hard with that stance to say you support escalating things when if Trump can say, you know what, let's end it right now. What's so bad about
If he
that?
can do that, that's great.
So you don't think he
But
can
how's he going to end it? Is he just going to say you get Ukraine? Is he going to say you get
keep
two of
what
the
they
parts
got?
of it?
Keep what they got. It's all blown
What
to
do they
hell
got?
these days.
Well, they did take part of Ukraine under Obama. People forget that. And he didn't do anything about it. So we'll
This
see
is
what
all
happens. But
proxy for. All right, first of all,
I
why am I bringing this up? Because it's Thanksgiving.
I don't know how we got on this tangent.
We,
We did the weave, like Trump
we,
does the weave.
well, a couple things. It's it got in the Jewish part of things, then it got into
Sure.
religion part
Because
of
we were
things,
talking about the menorah lighting that comes
menorah
up big.
lighting, and then now people are thankful that we're not in the middle of a war, and
No one wants to be in a war, but
you
like I
do.
said, no, I don't. I
What?
don't want to be. But
Listeners and viewers, you think Joe is a
if this
warmonger?
was 1930, if this
Ifs
was
and buts and candy and nuts. It's
right,
2024.
I'm just yeah, and the longer you prolong it, the worse the war will be.
Okay, so you're saying if Putin goes away, everything's fine?
Depends on who replaces him. If you get another Putin, then no. But if you get somebody that actually wants to like be serious on the world stage and work with Europe in a peaceful way, then
How are you going to get rid of Putin when he owns half of everything now?
well, how old is he? How much longer is he going to be around?
Uh, I don't know, but I guess he's got a will.
I mean, have you been to Russia?
Have I been? No.
I was in Russia like 10 years ago in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Did you have
And
a
it's
good
a
time?
beautiful country. The people are wonderful. It's just they have this dictator basically. He who the best thing was we had this tour guide because you when you go to Russia, you have to stay with a tour guide. You can't go out on your own. So we were there with a tour guide, and somebody in the tour asked the tour guide, "Are you allowed to say anything bad about Putin?" And his answer was, "Well, let me put it to you this way. In
But
your
it's
country, you're free to criticize the United States government. In our country, we're also free to criticize the United States government."
Dorive no provie.
So,
Trust but verify. So I don't know, Joe. It's people, it's going to be holidays and January, is it 5th or 6th? When does this
but
idiot leave?
20th.
January 20th?
Yeah.
6 is the all those people are going to get pardoned, right? That can't.
6th is when the Congress certifies it.
Okay. But also, wasn't there the protest there that
Well, yeah, there was last time, and let's see what happens this time. I don't think there will be, but never know.
are the Democrats going to walk through there with their Chardonnay glasses?
It'll be interesting to see what happens when there's the vote in the House and the Senate. But I mean, he won.
Yeah.
Not, and it's not a landslide, by the way. It's an electoral college landslide, but it's not a, if you look at those
Hey,
swing
what a saber,
states,
whatever you want. It's a red takeover. It is.
he won, but not by as much as you think. And if you look at each of those swing states, he only won. What's the most he won any of the swing states by?
I,
Two
lo-
points?
I
One
didn't hear
point?
you past he won.
He won.
And you know those maps that show the trends with the big red arrows, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. You can go
You
to
see,
look
do
at
you see
last
one of
week's
those red
finance.
arrows here in Lake County or Lake Forest?
No, I don't, but it's what the people want. People don't want
Right.
this, don't want war. They want to be thankful for not being in a war and to say, hey, I hope they blow everything up. I don't think that is, you might want to check that, Joe.
I don't want a war either. Let me be clear on that.
Okay.
But I
Well,
think
you're clear now.
Vladimir Putin's a bad guy.
A lot
That's
of
all I'm
bad
going to
guys in
say.
this world.
Well, he's a bad
Lots.
guy that could do a lot of danger to American security.
Don't you think we should
He
kind
has
of
nuclear
figure out?
weapons. You know,
Shouldn't
he
we?
has nuclear weapons.
If they work, I don't even, does he even know where they all are?
I'm sure he does.
I think the stuff that they're going to do in Mexico is going to have a bigger impact than messing with Russia for the United States.
Are you talking about stopping that plant, the auto plant that they want to build in Mexico?
No, I'm talking about the cartels, the fentanyl
Oh yeah,
stuff. I
that's a
think that
problem too. That's a problem.
that's a
Yeah.
bigger problem than Russia, though. So I don't
Well,
know.
they don't have nuclear weapons in Mexico. They do in Russia.
How many people died from nuclear weapons last year, Joe?
None because nobody
How
fired
many
any
died
of them.
from fentanyl last year, Joe?
Lots.
Okay,
So, but
check your.
it's not,
We
but
should
we can
debate
do,
sometime. This is fun.
but Pete, you can walk and chew gum. We can handle both. We can handle more than one problem at the same time. We can deal with
We can, but it's
Russia
inefficient and
aggression of Russia, and we can deal with the drug problem for Mexico. We can do both.
speaking of inefficient, what are they going to cut from the government? I can't wait to see
A
what
lot.
Swami.
There's a long list. I got a list.
Come on, even the Democrats want this stuff cut. You know, there's so much crap. I mean, hope I don't want to see people lose their jobs, but there's people not even going into work that don't even really have a job description and are getting paid. And that's okay, but it's only okay if I'm getting that money. But Elon, man, I don't think the country's
It's
ever
going to be like that scene in The Office. So what is it you exactly do here?
like, I don't really care.
But here's how it'll play out because we've seen this. Reagan wanted to try and do this, and
Do what?
Trump first term wanted to do this. Cut
This is second
spending.
term. Trump don't care anymore. He's
But
gonna.
but here's my point is what ends up happening is they go to these they go to these agencies and they say you got to cut 10% of your budget or 15%. And so they take the most popular things that these agencies do and put them and say this is what we're going to cut if these cuts go through. They throw out Sesame Street and they help, you're going to cut PBS and kill Sesame Street and you're going to kill Meals for Wheels for seniors and
Do you even need
Meals on
Sesame
Wheels for
Street
seniors.
anymore?
What?
Do you need Sesame Street anymore?
I don't,
No,
but
but I'm just saying, with all the content that's out there, what it started in '69.
well, Sesame Street doesn't need PBS funding anymore because they actually have private sponsors now. They're on, I think it's HBO or one of those things.
I'm just saying all that
So
stuff. Like, why do we need to pay for that?
that's a very good question that we're
Thank
going to
you.
have to figure out.
Well, I
I've
think,
often wondered, is there a need for public broadcasting, whether it's PBS, NPR?
and the other
Um,
thing is these broadcast licenses that are worth billions and gazillions of dollars, they're free to these companies to
make millions, billions.
put information out there for the public airwaves. And
Yeah,
when you're leaning towards one side and not the other, that's a big
fair point.
struggle. Oh, I feel better, Joe. I'm on a roll. I was out of it for had a touch of the flu or something. Now I'm back, baby. Let's go.
Did you get a flu shot
I got them all.
and you still got the flu?
Yeah, whatever version it is of it. Look, for everybody out there, all you're doing is playing the percentages. Okay. Am I more likely or less likely? That's how I look at it. So go out there, bam, jab me. I don't care. But now I'm back, baby. So now Thanksgiving, what kind of bird are you guys going to do?
We're actually getting the Thanksgiving meal from Eloa. They sell a little package where you get it all, and then you just heat it up, and because we don't have a lot of people, so we don't want to go buy a whole turkey and do all that. And it's
Yeah.
by the time you do all that, you're spending the same amount of money.
But that's part of
So
the deal is getting the family together and making stuff.
no, it's getting the family together and sitting and eating together, which is a challenge for a lot of families these days. But
Especially
Thanksgiving
all
is one day that we can do that.
when they're all hung over from Blackout Wednesday.
Or they're all depressed from watching the Bears Lions game. But I don't know. But maybe the Bears will pull it off. Not. But
Off.
the Bears are playing the Lions on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, what is the NFL schedule for? Let's clue in the listeners
Well,
there.
you get the Bears playing the Lions, and then there's always the Cowboys game, which I think is against the New York Giants, and then there's a third game. I don't know that night on I think it's NBC, but I don't know. The NFL's going a lot of NFL games. I
The
don't know if there's
night game
NBA
is
games.
Miami Green Bay Packers. Packers
Oh,
kicked the crap out of the 49ers. That's
yeah, they did, unfortunately.
Bears Lions 11:30, like you said.
Yeah.
3:30 game is Cowboys Giants. Interesting. Oh, there's a Friday game? 2 p.m. Raiders Chiefs.
Yep. For
Holy
all the guys that stay home while their wives go Black Friday shopping. So maybe you'll have that on at Fry Fest.
And then I don't know, Fry Fest is it's I might have to order in the
Bring
pack.
some stuff for it. We'll bring in some stuff for it. Drew's got some ideas for what you can fry.
Too many
He's
ideas.
he's 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 pumped.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
No, you're frying it. He's just gonna get it. He's gonna buy some crap at Jewel that he thinks will be funny for you to fry.
I think for fry fat. Well, let's talk about. Okay, I asked what you're doing, which sorry, that sucks. I'm deep frying.
It'll be a delicious meal.
Go to McDonald's or do
No, we want to support Eloa,
like
and the
Christmas
food is
Story.
very nice. Food is all natural and none of this uh,
Is it through?
process.
Are you getting it through a drive-through?
No, you pick it up on Wednesday night. Pre-ordered. I think it's all sold out now, so it's too late. But for anybody
Can't
listening,
believe
but
that's Lake Forest for you. At
just
least
want to
you're
support.
in town.
We it is our drive-through. We just walk across. We don't even have to drive. We just walk there.
So I got 5 gallons of the
I'll
peanut.
take a picture when the meal is all set on the table. I will take a picture and send it to you. I'll
It's like
post it on my Facebook.
it's like eating a plastic apple in one of them fake scenes in a hotel.
No, that would be if you bought it at McDonald's. One year we were visiting the college where Drew goes now, and they had a game on Black Friday, a football game that they gave free tickets to. And so we decided to drive there on Thanksgiving Day to get there. And so we get into Virginia, and the only thing open for Thanksgiving was Cracker Barrel. So we had our Thanksgiving meal at Cracker Barrel
Joe, I believe that. I believe that.
in Lynchburg, Virginia.
So getting back to the deep fried turkey, there's nothing better than cooking that thing in 55 minutes. Bam, done,
It's like a microwave.
done, done.
Are
You know,
you and you probably emit more waves than a cell phone tower.
why you bring up this? What is up with that now?
There's nothing up with it. It's done. It's down. It ain't happening. It's done.
I I got kind of caught in the weeds on some of the Facebook posts on that. Like,
Yes, you did.
what was the end? Wasn't the planning commission just supposed to say yes or no?
Yeah.
And then,
And they kind of like, oh, we think it should be over here instead of over
but
here.
that wasn't what they
But
were supposed to do, right?
right. No, they with the
Yeah.
exception of the two commissioners, Barrett Davy and Pasquisi. I can't remember his first
Basically,
name
they
offhand.
dumped it on city council, right?
Well, they basically they they got I think they got frightened by all the people in the room, and they fell into the trap of NIMBYism, where one select neighborhood
They didn't do
packs a
their job.
room,
They didn't do their job.
and for every person in the room, there were 10 people in the city that don't have a problem with this and would want it. And
I just want cell phone
it's how
service.
we lost Costco 20
Quit
years
mooching
ago.
off of my tower.
Right. And they're like, oh, you should build the tower at the dump instead of the train
But that
station.
wasn't what they were supposed to do.
But the cell companies don't have said we don't, we want it here. We're building the tower and this is where we would like to do it. We're just asking,
How about this?
but
Taxpayers of Ward 4, can they pay for putting it by the dump?
yeah, but it won't improve the service.
Just yes or
Yeah.
no? Can they?
I suppose there's some way you could do that. I don't
So
know
are they
what
willing to
the
do that?
mechanism is.
Put a petition out there. Hey, Ward 4, you want it by the dump? Will you pay for it?
So then all those guys that work at the dump every weekend are going to get all the cancer that they're worried about that they
There is no
think
cancer from it, Joe.
I know, I'm just saying. They said, "Oh, this is dangerous for us," but put it at the dump next to the guys that work at the dump.
So that drives
So in
me
other words,
crazy. And then you got one of the leaders of the caucus going in there. Tell me I should look at it a different way with Victor
he's free to say his opinion.
as part of the
He did.
caucus, though,
I
representing the
think
fourth ward.
no. Yes, I think in that case, yes. I think I don't agree with his opinion, but I think it's different than somebody like Phil LaRucca endorsing a person running against a caucus slated candidate, where
If you're a leader of
he
Ward
did his
4, you
180
represent
and
hold on? Do you represent Ward 4? Or do you represent the entire caucus? Just answer the
You
question. Yes.
could, it's a good
It's for the,
question. I don't know. I
oh,
mean,
well, you do know. You won't
we
say.
do
I'll
our
say.
we argue that the aldermen represent the whole city, even though they're only elected by a ward. But look, if your election is only in one part of the city, you're going
If
to
you
worry
represent,
more
first of
about
all,
that.
if you got 30 people going up there and saying the same thing, and you're a leader of the caucus, why the hell are you even going up there to do that?
Yeah, and that's
And
look, like I said, he has every right to
he has
say
every
what
right,
he.
but it's stupid.
But if I
And,
was
and, and
him,
if
I
you're
would
going
have
to
just
say
stayed home.
something, hold on. If you're going to say something, he took a page out of Kamala's book. That was two bags of word salad.
I don't think he's a Kamala supporter, but that's okay.
Well, he
Um,
sounds like it.
he's like I
So
said, I don't agree with him. And if I had been in his shoes and had the feelings that he had, I would have just stayed home. That said, I don't think he should be kicked out of the caucus or anything like that because of it, because um, I think he didn't like say,
no,
don't
but
vote for Randy Tack or something like that, like Phil Aruka did.
I'm just saying, if back in the day when I was in the caucus, that's why I'm not in the caucus anymore, is doing something like that. Now you can go out there and you can work outside the box and do stuff like this.
Well, but do you give up your rights as a private citizen when you join the caucus? I don't know about that. I
You're on the
mean,
leadership
he
committee.
had a concern. I don't, like I said, I do not agree with the concern, but he had in his mind a concern about his neighborhood, and he had a right to say what he wanted to say. And I don't think that should disqualify him from being part of the caucus. That said, the plan commissioners, except for Davy and Pasquizzi, the plan commissioners, in my opinion, did not do their
Weak,
job
weak
correctly.
sticks, no backbone.
They, the plan commission, I get it that people in the neighborhood would pack that meeting. That goes with the course. But the plan commission
Optics.
should have seen beyond that and said, you know what, we understand you're that you're concerned about this, but we have to look at the entire city when we make decisions like this and the city's future. And this is the right decision for the entire city. They failed to do that.
That's so weak.
It was
Just
weak.
weak. No backbone. They'll never have to worry about getting a chiropractor. I mean, look, you can never not lead. When you when you're in a leadership position, you always have to lead. You don't follow. Okay.
Well, you need to see beyond NIMBYism. We've talked about this so many times. The not in my backyard,
The greater good.
uh, the
Simple.
greater
The
good. I mean, this
greater
is like
good.
I
Yeah.
said, this was why we lost Costco and millions of dollars of easy sales tax revenue. This is why this was what sprung block the box, and the people by the train tracks. So but leaders see beyond the crowd. Leaders don't get caught up in the moment and see what the and listen to people that pack a room.
But
They
do you
listen to
think
the
he
whole
prepared to
city.
go up there? If you're going to
I don't.
prepare to go up there, you would say more than what he did. So I don't know if that was like an emotional thing.
I didn't pay that much attention. I mean, I watched the speech, but
I made a
I
whole
don't
video
remember
of
it.
all 4 minutes of his
Yeah,
salad.
I mean, look, like I said, I think Victor's a good guy. He's free to speak his mind. I don't think he should be kicked out of the caucus or anything like that for this. Now, if he came out and said
Why?
you should
What
vote
about in a
you shouldn't
leadership
vote for
position?
Randy,
What about a leadership position? Should he be an executive leadership position?
I don't it, I don't have an issue with it. Like I said, I'm disappointed. I disagree, but no, I don't. I have no. Yes, I don't have an issue with him being in the leadership position because he's not unless he starts taking out and the key with the caucus is to not have an agenda.
That was an
So
agenda.
if if he then carries out that agenda in his role as a caucus chair,
Duh.
then but in terms of slating people for boards and commissions and things like that they do, but
Yeah,
I think he's still entitled to an opinion on an issue. Okay. And he's
fine. You, Joe,
like
Then he can do a podcast. He's in a leadership position of a group that selects people for the boards and commissions in this town. And he's,
It was a bad choice, in my opinion. I wouldn't, like I said, he should have just stayed home and the vote would have been the same. But
I don't know if it was
it is what it
bad. I
is.
think it's just dumb and it's a question of judgment. Or, did O'Reilly know he was going up there to do it on the
You have
side?
to
Did
ask
Rita
Aridi. I don't
know?
know the answer to that one.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
to you. I'm just, putting
You
it out
said, did
there.
Aridi know? And I don't know. I don't know if Aridi knew.
Well, here's what I can tell you. You toe the line, right? Because if you don't, you have fragments and you have right now you got this faction on Ward 4 that says, okay, we're going to put it by the dump, but ain't nobody going to pay for it. So ain't going to be no tower, period.
Right. And then there's also issues with the weight of the water
Whatever.
tower there and stuff. Yeah.
We have to simplify things so people can understand. Okay. Bottom line is it's not a health issue. People don't want to see the American flagpole over by the business district of the West Side, which is the stupidest. Having a flagpole in a business district, that's a bad look.
First of all, I don't know if that's really a business district. To
Well,
me, the business district is more downtown Lake Forest. But that's even with that.
but that's a hub. There's
Um,
more business on the West Side than the
but
East.
you get on that train and keep going to Chicago, and half the stations, more than half probably, have cell towers in their parking lots in those. North Glenview, the Glen Metro station, has a cell tower in its parking lot. And that did not impact the property values of anyone in the Glen or anywhere in Glenview. So there is clearly precedent for this in other communities, and that's why they went there because the space was available. There's not, those parking lots were built for pre-pandemic levels, and even pre-pandemic, I'm told the parking lots rarely filled up. It would only be like when the Cubs World Series victory parade happened. That's about the only time. Um, so you can afford to lose 5, 10 spaces there, no problem. There's nothing else to be torn down. You don't have to tear down somebody's building or anything like that. It's right there, ready to go. And according to the cellular phone companies, this is what they feel is the best location to manage their service.
There's
So
nothing making them put a tower in. They don't have to do anything.
no, but they did see a hole. And some of it is the traffic on Waukegan, some of it is the traffic on the Metro train.
Some of it
But
is that there's no tower there that we have to soak the towers.
right, so everybody
Not
else
using.
is, yeah.
It's selfish. It's a bunch of selfish people that, oh, I don't want this American flagpole to be in my business
Well,
district,
like I
in my
said,
backyard.
I get it that residents get
I don't.
emotional about, let me finish my sentence. I get it that residents in a neighborhood get emotional about something going on in their neighborhood, but the plan commission needs to see beyond that. If you're going to be a leader on the plan commission or the city council or any of the other boards, you need to see the bigger picture for the city.
And then don't
They
get me
didn't do
going.
that. Other than Davy and Basqueezy, they didn't do that.
And you know what? For the viewers and listeners that have been long time, look up my history with Jamie Moorhead and the debacle of having him on that thing. It goes with the planning commission and it goes with the caucus, the leaders that are in there that it's all together, you know. Fine, you have an opinion. Don't be in a leadership position in the caucus and then screw this thing up. Now there's going to be zero tower, or if anything, it's been delayed.
Well, like I said, the guy from the company who wasn't the best spokesman for
Oh
them,
God.
but nonetheless, he
That's the guy
said,
they
"Look,
sent out.
I know that I was disappointed at that guy. I hope he made it back to his car afterwards. He might have been killed by the angry mob there, but um, mistake number one was
He
he
got
told him
pelted
he
by everybody's purses.
mistake number one is he told him he lived in Geneva, I think it was, or I forgot what city it was, someplace out in Kane County. I'm like, really sharp move there, pal. But in any event, he said he made it clear, look, if you guys say no, fine. We'll just not do it and find another city that will build a tower. will let us build the tower, period. So I don't think it's
Right.
going to happen now. It was short-sighted. I really do.
It's
And this whole
weak.
thing about Starlink and Elon, that's not going to happen anytime
It
soon.
can, but not in our, you need to make a phone call now.
And and
I
and
can't hear you.
you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Kathy Zerniak made a very good point in the ordinance is if down the road technology occurs that you don't need this tower anymore and you don't use it anymore, you have the builder of the tower is responsible for taking it down. So if, say, in 10 years, Starlink takes over and we got Starlink all over the country and it's become the norm, um, or some other technology, uh, it's on this company then to take down the tower. So, but
Here,
we're not there yet.
if there's going to be a contested election against Randy, is this going
There's
to be
not.
the issue? I'm just
There's
saying.
not going to be.
So
There's
nothing.
not going to be.
So they filed.
The deadline's over.
That's it. So nothing.
Somebody could run as a write-in hypothetically, but
Okay.
when was the last time a write-in candidate ever won?
I don't know. I'm really happy Thanksgiving. I'm really fired up about
It's supposed to be a happy show, right?
well, no, but people need to at least do some research on what it is to lead.
Well, like I said, NIMBYism has killed a lot of good ideas, not just in Lake
Uh,
Forest, but in a lot of other communities,
that's what
and
I
it's
think
it's
it's a personality.
short-sighted.
It's a
I,
personality type.
you know,
Don't I want to
leaders
be the
need to
last
look.
person that moved into Lake Forest.
Leaders need to look two, three, four, five, 6 steps ahead, right? And not just react to every little thing that comes up.
Do
That's what leadership's about.
you think this Victor guy is going to be on the planning board? I hope not.
I'm gonna bet no.
I, I just I got to get past it here. Okay, so everybody's stuffing their birds right now, and they're like, these
Stuff in
guys.
their face.
No, they're watching it. This will go out early in the morning. Everybody will be
But not everybody watches the moment you launch it.
uh no, what they do is they go through the email and they pick out the pieces and then they go back and watch later. Because the email and also the YouTube descriptions, all the timestamps are in there about the topic. So if you don't want to hear about politics, you just go in and you can hear about the tree lighting ceremony. That's the beautiful thing about what we do here. But going into so Black Friday. You gonna buy anything on Black Friday?
I don't want to.
How many air fryers do you need?
How many do you remember the days when people would camp out in front of the stores like on the night before for Black Friday deals? Like there'd be a line of people camping out at Best Buy overnight and stuff.
You brought up 40 years ago, Joe. You know what 40 years ago was the Cabbage Patch dolls and the free-for-alls. I wonder how many I can't believe it. Yeah, I can believe it. That Beanie Babies, all that crap.
I'm a little, I was in high school then, but I remember seeing it on TV and a big thing. And then when my kids were little, uh, they wanted these Furbies. Do you remember Furbies?
Yeah,
These
I
little
do.
fur
Star Trek,
things, and
yeah.
you'd stick them together and they'd talk and all this stuff. So we got up. My wife got up really, really early. She didn't do any camping overnight. She wasn't going to do any of that crap. But I forgot what store had them as a doorbuster. So she got up at like 4 in the morning with one of her friends, and they waited for the store to open, and they got their Furbies, and then they went out for coffee and breakfast, and came home with the Furbies, and the kids got them for Christmas, and they were happy. And when we moved, it was one of the many things we donated to charity because it was one of those things that they played with for like 6 months, and then it got thrown in the bin.
Joe, did you see anything was there anything new about that I posted that Dan Dorfman article about the real estate levies and taxes. Is there
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think there's anything earth-shattering. Of course, they're going to ask for tax increases at the school district. That just goes with the territory. But it just makes the point that, you know, you had
You need more than 106 million? I thought that money was in the bank getting interest. So
didn't he say if they came out ahead, he'd consider a rebate for it?
ugh, okay. Just wanted to know.
I thought he said that. So
I
maybe we
He
have
said
to
that was an
wait.
option.
Well, apparently they didn't do that option, or maybe they have to wait another year or two before they're done with all the construction, if there's any money left over. But don't hold your breath. Let's put it that way. Don't hold your breath. The only place that gives rebates around here is Matawa because they got the Costco that the NIMBYs,
That
chased
could pay for a
away.
cell tower.
Well, like, the thing with the cell tower, though, Pete, is the city wasn't going to pay for it. The city was simply giving permission for a company to build it. The city wasn't going to spend any money paying for it. The city's sole interest was improving cellular service in the city.
I think the city should pay for it and charge everybody in Ward 4 for it, starting with Victor.
Yeah, but where are you going to put it now?
The
There's
garbage
no
dump.
place, but it's not gonna help. The cell companies are like,
According
thanks,
to
but no
Victor and the rest
thanks.
of the crew, that'll work.
Well, I listen to the people that actually build the towers, and they've said, no, it won't help. And the city has said, no, you can't put any more stuff on that water tower or it's going to collapse.
Less water.
Well, if the water tower collapses, hell yeah, there'd be less water.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Be no water.
let's take the water out that goes to Ward 4. That'll lighten the load, and we'll put the towers up. And then,
I don't think the public works guys have the ability to segment the water supply by ward.
oh, I wouldn't put
Just
anything past those guys. Plus, I want to give a shout out to the sanitation guys, man. They're getting out early for the recycling.
they
Normally,
just they do their job day
I
in,
know
day
they do
out,
their
those
job, but
guys.
they're doing it
Yeah.
even earlier now. I'm like, wow.
Well, they get to your house, they get to my house about the same time, but it's still early. So, but yeah, maybe they want to see you, Pete. They know you're an early guy and they want to say hi. And maybe you got something for them, like
No, my trash can looks like NASCAR.
no, but do you give them like a little
Little,
refreshment or anything, or
little something, something, little handshake.
hot chocolate when it's cold, or cold water when it's hot in the summer?
I I try to keep my pizza boxes out of the
You give
recycling.
them a little gift, a Christmas gift.
It's a little handshake, little handshake.
Hmm.
Okay, then I think the other thing that's going on, if people are watching this in Thanksgiving, all the high school championship games. So I think Geneva made it to the finals. They upset somebody. So
Um,
they beat Lake Forest, by the way. Scouts, great year. Kudos.
Yeah, no, those guys made it 3 rounds and they got nothing to be ashamed of. I heard that after the game was over, in the locker room, all the seniors gave speeches and there was a lot of tears and stuff because for most of those guys, this is the last time they're going to play football, and they've been playing since they were little. So, some of them will go on and play in college, but most don't. And it was pretty emotional for them. But they should be proud of themselves. They did a great job. Their coach did a great job. And years from now, they're going to look back and remember, hey, we made it third round of the high school playoffs, which most schools can't say.
Oh, they was
Um,
didn't
Now they're losing like a ton of seniors. So the question is, what about next year? How's the team going to look next year? That's
so the
going to be the
question I
new
have is
question.
here, let me go over the championships for everybody and we'll get out of here. 8A championship is November 30th, 7 p.m. That's the big one. That's Loyola Academy against York. Class 7A at 4 p.m. on November 30th is Batavia against Mount Carmel. 6A, and this is what Lake Forest was on November 30th, 1 o'clock. Geneva gets to play East St. Louis. Oh, God.
Oh, he's St. Louis.
How are they so good if they don't have any money? That's what I don't understand. How do
They've kept up a good program for years
that
and
must
years
be
and years. I
their
used to work
income?
with a guy from East St. Louis, and the football team was like one of the big things that they were proud of in their town.
No,
So
I
they
know,
got,
but I mean, is that like
yeah,
an income source? Like that's, Friday Night Lights, that's where they get money from. I don't
I
understand
don't
it.
know, man. I mean, East St. Louis has a lot of challenges as a city.
Just ask
In
Chevy
fact,
Chase.
their city hall got foreclosed in the 80s. Um, that was pretty bad. But,
No, hold
you
on.
know,
November 30th, 10 a.m., 5A championship, Nazareth Academy, LaGrange Park. The head coach of that team played ball with me at Southern.
there you go. See,
Uh,
maybe you can get you tickets.
uh, nah. They were going up against Joliet Catholic. That's old school. That's Rudy. 4A championship, November 29th, 7 p.m. Mount Zion against Chicago DePaul. Holy crap, that's Gordon Tech. Gordon Tech made it to the championship. Holy,
Well, they're now called DePaul.
yeah, right down the
Oh,
street.
they're like the high school that. Oh, okay.
They got girls there too now. 3A, November 29th, 4 p.m. Montini against Monticello.
Montini's in the west suburbs, I believe, like Lombard.
Lombard.
Yeah.
2A, November 29th, 1 p.m. Chicago Christian versus M. Forsyth. I don't know what that is.
Forsyth, I think, is downstate.
November 29th, 10 a.m. First game that kicks it off. Winslow versus Belleville. That's Southern Illinois.
Belleville is down. Yeah, Belleville's near East St. Louis.
So there's a bunch of football.
Where are these games? In Champaign?
I think they're at Illinois State. Well, let's see. Hold
in
on.
Bloomington?
Hold on. Yeah, Illinois State, Hancock Stadium.
Bloomington,
Yep.
Bloomington Normal.
All right, Joe, let's close this out by, we'd like to wish everyone, listeners, viewers, supporters, haters, lovers of the podcast, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. May your gravy be plentiful, your turkey not as dry as it usually is, and may your drunk uncle be somebody other than Pete.
And come down to the tree lighting on Friday.
Light one up. Happy Thanksgiving, Joe.
Take care.
Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for.
We
also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, and J.M.